Welcome to Co-op Mode. This is the spooky video game podcast of Secret Friends Unite. This is episode 151. I am one of your hosts, Todd, the terrifying Doctor of Evil Oxtra, joined by the conundrum of the MCU, the Whirlpool. Oh my goodness. How are you, my heroic friend?
I am good. I don't know why that's my Wolverpool voice. I could have just gone with like a Deadpool impression or a Wolverine impression, but I went with that one. So that's what we're going to go with.
You're very Canadian tonight. I feel it in the air.
Yes, I feel it in the cockles of my heart.
Well, I hope
Right
you
in the
don't come
cockles.
down with the plague, but if you do, you've got the doctor to help you out. I can draw some blood. You'll recover quickly because you're a mutant. You have powers. Just make sure you don't cut me open if that's cutting a check. You could cut me open and pay me that way. Oh, well. We shall see. Well, welcome to our Halloween episode of Co-op Mode. So hopefully everybody's in time for a spooky experience in the world of video games. So with that, we need to get into the business of this show, which is thanking our really spooky Secret Friends squad.
Yes. I want to thank everyone over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite, where you can head right now for a free 7-day trial to check out all the ad-free shows, Discord benefits, exclusive shows, all that fun stuff. And I have to thank the amazing people over there already, including our besties tier, Derek Trevelyan, aka the Figure Dude, Francie, the official hairstylist of the SFU, the Xbox Expansion Pass, and Charlie's Uncle Tim, as well as our Friends with Benefits tier, John Sedorf, Phoenix Sisters Entertainment, Brennan Myers, Corey in HD, the Boss Rush CEO, and Matthew Keel, as well as the amazing Secret Friends Super Squad. I'm going to change it to the Secret Friends Super Spooky Squad for this episode. That is Sean, Stella, and Henry Nias. Thank you all so much. Again, head over to patreon.com/secretfriendsunite, where as little as $2 a month gets you exclusive shows, extra content, no ads, and Discord benefits, and helps us out immensely. So thank you so much.
It even gets spookier because, oh my goodness, Wolverpool, we're going to have our October Patreon party on October 30th, 8 p.m. Central. So join us for our spooky games, the scary ways to get to know each other, and maybe we might have some games that inspire fear in the contestants who play them. So please join us on a trial. We welcome you to be into the spooky zone of SFU. My goodness, Mark, did you see those guys?
They were weird. I don't exactly know what happened, but the captain's here now to make sure this ship goes in the right direction, and you're looking pretty dapper. So I think we've got this under control.
I stole his hat. It flew off his head. I stole it. I just wanted to look to the part tonight. I'm sitting in a mansion. Someone might attack me tonight. So, I'm sure you've got your grog, your booty, and we're ready to have a great time tonight at SFU.
Always got the booty.
But before we get started, Mark, really quick, what's the most scared you've ever been as a kid? Like, what was like a scariest moment that you feel like, oh my God, Halloween is alive and I felt it?
Probably going to look for Angus, which was a ghost in a neighboring house at my grandparents' summer place. And the ghost of someone that allegedly hung himself in the attic of this old farmhouse. So we put on our Ghostbusters proton packs and decided to go up in the attic and look to see if we could find the ghost. That one was creepy because it was an old creaky farmhouse anyway, so there was creaks and things and probably some squirrels in the attic that made some noises and sounds and things moving or whatever that we just kind of took off out of there. That was probably up there. I would say. Yeah. What about you?
I like this. Spooky vibes. I think it has to be when I was a kid, and we were playing a game of Bloody Murder. Have you ever played that game?
Yep.
It's the opposite of hide and seek. So essentially, everybody, basically, who's not the murderer, closes their eyes and counts. So it's all the bloody murderer hides. So essentially, the bloody murderer gets to find you. And as a kid, I was easily spooked with all the neighborhood kids. It just really, you didn't see, you thought you saw things in your neighborhood. And Mark, I swear, I saw an alien that night. Lights in the sky. I'm like, what the hell is that? It was really creepy.
Wow.
And I didn't know what to think. And then a rat went across my leg. I thought it was a rat. I don't know. It could have been a cat. I don't know. I was spooked as hell. And at that point, I'm like, I do not want to play this game ever again.
I mean, yeah. No wonder.
It was
Jeez,
weird.
That's insane.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah,
Who
that'll
knows?
do it.
Maybe I was high on peyote at like 9 years old. Who knows? Something in the air.
That
All that
happens too,
fluoride in the water.
you know? Yeah,
Exactly.
that happens.
Oh, my
Mercy.
goodness.
Wow.
Yeah. So, folks, if you have any spooky, scary moments that you remember as a kid or even recent, my wife's a ghost. She loves ghost hunting. She's gone on ghost hunter expeditions before. She has the gear. I'm a little more of a skeptic than she is, but I think it's fun. I like to feel like there's something else out there. But, Mark, there is something else out there, and that is feedback from our cool Discord group. So, we got a couple interesting ones. We had some good discussions group, but basically, Brendan Myers, he said, how do people find the time to play so many video games? We may be the wrong people to ask this question.
I am absolutely the wrong person to ask this question. Kind of.
Okay.
It depends. So I'm just going to jump right in here with this because and I know Brennan's in the same group as a parent with a young child, trying to find that work life, chasing a child around kind of balance. So as you've probably noticed, if you've listened to this show for any amount of time, I play what seems like a lot of games, or at least I'm coming with different games and stuff every single time we record this. So every 2 weeks I have a game or two to talk about, but a lot of the times it's different stuff. It's it's either I'm playing like a new season of Fortnite or Star Wars Hunters, or I'm playing something weird like Nick Jr. Party from last week, or even like Looney Tunes Sports, again, that I talked about last week. That would I play both of those games by myself? Maybe not. Was I happy to play them with Finn? Absolutely. And that's what my gaming is now. It's a lot of like, what can we play together? Is it necessarily what I would choose to be playing? Did I want to spend the weekend playing Ninja Turtles and Mario Maker instead of the new Call of Duty game? Not necessarily. Ninja Turtles is cool though. I'll talk about that later. But so it's a mix of that kind of stuff, and then like I always bring up this little device, the RG35XXSP. Having this kind of thing again. If Finn's using my Switch, the TV's in use. I can't play a bloody, gory action game when he's up anyway.
Mark, he told me he likes the gory action games. So you know what? Maybe you're the problem.
Okay. All right.
You're scared of it,
I'm
maybe.
definitely that's it. That is, I am terrified of
Okay.
of violence for sure. So this kind of helps. I can fit in those little gaming sessions. Again, it might not be the most recent game. It might not be the most exciting thing, but if I can get like my Pokemon fix or play some classic Mario games or something like that, or dip into some old Metroid games, this thing is worth its weight in gold. It doesn't weigh much, but it's worth more than its weight in gold. Because it just helps me get those little, like, there's something on the TV, I can still kind of get some gaming in. And it's the same kind of thing like, if I'm up after everyone goes to bed, I'm trying to catch up on a show or a movie or something. Um, if it's something I've seen before or something that I only have to pay half attention to, I'm playing on this thing or like handheld mode on the Switch. So it's finding those moments of like, hey, maybe I should be watching the full movie or playing the full game. That one of those things should have my attention, but I'm trying to divide it in two because I want to get some shit done, or feel like I participated in more
Yeah.
things that are culturally relevant at the time. So it's just finding the time in between other stuff, or finding the time that things aren't too crazy, or finding a new definition of what gaming means to you, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So that works well for me to still be able to come on this show and talk about things. Will I be able to participate in the conversation about the new Call of Duty this week? No, I wish. I downloaded it. That's got to count for something.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
That's half the
but
battle.
it's yeah, right. It's on my system. But did I get a chance to
Exactly.
play?
It's there.
No. I might. Hopefully this week.
It's
Um,
Mark. It's the Bart Simpson
that's it.
cake that says "At least you tried," and it
At least
throws
you
in the
tried.
trash. At least you tried.
I did something. I minimal effort, to paraphrase Deadpool. Um, so that, yeah, that's the way I find time to play video games in a loose definition. What about you, Todd? What kind of secrets and wisdom can you impart on us?
Uh, it's interesting because I'm in a different spot of my life completely. My son is in college now. I don't have little ones running around. I don't have to worry about going to bed at a certain time, or worry about waking him up, or it's just me and the wife now. Except Logan keeps coming back home every weekend, so apparently he misses us, and that's fine. But it is a different expectation. But once again, I also do a podcast about geek media, so I have to cover off on comic books and movies and TV and stuff. So it's like I have to balance a little bit of everything, along with just what's going on in the world, work and chores and everything as a married man in a house to take care of. But I've gotten to the point, Mark, where I'm not obsessed with finishing everything. I'm okay with
Yeah.
getting enough of an experience that says, yep, I understand what it is. I'm good enough, and moving on.
Yeah.
Which is important because there's just too many games. And I think if you're okay with that, not having like 100%, I'm renowned. I've owned PlayStation consoles forever. I don't need platinum trophies because to get a platinum or 1,000 gamer points or whatever it is, it takes extra time to do those things, quite honestly, that don't always bring me joy. If they bring you joy, great. But for me, it's like this fake digital currency that I can't spend. It's fine. But other people enjoy it because it brings more excitement to the games they play. So I'm perfectly fine with finding the fun. And if I can't find the fun, I drop it. So that's where I often feel like I'm struggling to find the game that captures me, that keeps me around. And I think that's important. Don't force the fun. If you don't find the fun, move on. And that's why I sample a lot of games and rarely stick with a lot of them if they don't capture my attention. It shouldn't be like, oh, wow. That's why I do GameFly. I feel like I don't want to own games. I want to experience them. So I don't feel like I've wasted money or I'm obligated because of a budget. So that's my thing. But obviously some people find time because gaming is their favorite hobby. It's their only hobby. And that's what they spend time. So it's funny. People said like, how much is too much? Or so it's like, it's arbitrary to the point of where you feel like you find enjoyment. But there we go. We got a question, though, from Brian Horan. This is Charlie's cousin. He said, if we don't answer this question, like we're in trouble, Mark. So, I mean, I put it in
Charlie
anyways.
gave us that idle little threat there.
I was going to, I put it in anyways.
Not intimidated. We were going to answer it anyway. So don't feel like we did this for you. I really want to make that very, very clear.
No, we did it for Brian, not for you, Charlie. Yeah, no favors
that's
there.
exactly right.
Brian, you can thank us, not for Charlie, because if anybody did that, we'd be like, oh, we're throwing that question out the barrel. But because you asked so
100%.
kindly, so he says because he does a Byron return comment, but he says, "What's the best Resident Evil game and best remake?" So, Mark, I don't know what your stance is on Resident Evil because I don't spooky games and Resident Evil. I don't know where you stand. So tell me more.
I love the Resident Evil series. The early Resident Evil games. I played every single one. I haven't played too much past Village of like the new stuff. But oh man, yeah, early Resident Evil. Holy crap, that was one of the reasons I bought a GameCube was all the remakes and stuff coming out. And that era was amazing. So I'm going to give a basic, it feels like a cop-out answer, but I believe this one. Best Resident Evil game. The first one, and the best remake, same answer. That is my answer, is the remake of the first Resident Evil game for the GameCube. That game was essentially the building block for all of the remakes that came after it. It was used for all of the remakes. Like the GameCube version was basically just upscaled, made to look prettier for most of those other later re-releases for like PlayStation 4 and Xbox and all that kind of stuff. Like it was basically just the GameCube version, just prettier. So that first game, the first feeling, and I guess for me, a lot of nostalgia is playing into this. You mentioned scary moments before. So playing the Resident Evil GameCube remake by myself, home alone, in the basement, thunderstorm at night, no one else around. Freaky, because there's things going through the window. There's a window right up there, basement window, and there's rain beating on the window coming down. There's, like I said, thunder and lightning outside. There's thunder and lightning in the game. I feel like I'm fully immersed. The lights are off and just like crazy, creepy video game experience. And the dog comes through the window and I'm like, oh, Jesus, okay. All right.
Why would dogs come through a window? They're not supposed to do that.
They're not supposed to.
Dogs.
So just like that first game means so much. And I loved, like, 4 was amazing. I love even like 0. I have great memories of. But there's just still something about that first game, especially the remade version. Still had tank controls, but still it felt, I don't know, man, there's just something. So yeah, Resident Evil original remake, best. That's my answer for both sides of that. What about you? How's your experience with this series?
So it's so weird because I got a PlayStation in college, so I played Resident Evil, loved it, but then didn't play 2 or 3. I don't know why. Don't know why, Mark. I can't explain myself. And then I tried the RE remake on GameCube, but I wasn't that interested because it didn't feel that different. It was prettier, and it was the definitive version at the time, which was important. And I never really got into 0. 0 was kind of a little weird and wonky. But RE4, man, that is a banger of a game. So I'm going to go a little bit different, though. RE4 Remake is my favorite remake. It's amazing.
Ooh, yeah.
I love that game.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
VR version
good.
too. Oh shit, that's a good one.
Oh, and that's the thing. The VR Resident Evil in VR is just like its own platform at this point. I mean, and they have embraced it fully, which is amazing. And quite honestly, some spoopy stuff. But I love the remake and also the Separate Ways DLC, which I never played before. So that brought it to life with Ada Wong. That is amazing. But 2 and 3, since I never played them, it was great to have modern versions of those games. So amazing.
Right.
Yeah, it was great. But my favorite, like, core Resident Evil now, it's so weird because I have loved 7, but 8. 8 is probably my favorite game. The spooky, creepy, sexy vampire lady, Lady Dimitrescu, is amazing. There's a creepy baby in that thing, dolls, and I just love it. I just love it so much, and I need to play the DLC in both games, but love them to pieces. I love the first person, the fact that they've reinvented the series. But But man, I can't wait to see what they do in 5 and 6 because 5 and 6 are a hot mess. It's all I'll say. Oh, thank you, Brian. Thank you,
Great
Brendan
question.
Myers, for your
Great question. I love
questions.
it.
Absolutely. So we actually get into like kind of like it's kind of in a weird order, but buy rent return, Mark. This week, I've updated the graphics for this. I thought it was fun to put in like actual video stores in the background. I was trying to think of what is a good Canadian video store. If you think of one and you got a graphic, I'll add it in.
It's really Blockbuster or like local mom and pop shops.
Oh, okay.
So unless I
Same
can
for
find
us.
you like a 1990 like picture scanned in of like Game World or something like that, like Blockbuster means the most to me aside from those little mom and pops. So like
if your town had a video store, send it to me and I'll put it in there because a video headquarters and family video, but definitely Hollywood and Blockbuster were my mainstays. But I grew up with mainly
we
mom
had
and
one
pop.
called Family Video as well, like or Sydney Family Video, I think, because I live in Sydney, like that. So like I mean, you're even hitting it with that, right? Like like between Family Video and Blockbuster, like you at least name recognition, like the sign wasn't the same, but name recognition is there.
Yeah, I grew up in an area where we never had a mainstream video shop, so it was always like the local one that wasn't that great, and like, okay, kind of creepy. Smells of maybe dead bodies, and there's a curtain. Don't go back there, kids. But no, never would go back there, unless your parents don't know. Buy rent return, scariest bosses. So I was thinking, Mark, did we do scariest bosses? No, we've done other things, but not bosses. Yeah, so I picked, and I'm going to introduce DLC to this mode, Mark. You can either accept the 3 or insert one out of the blue. So I picked Pyramid Head, Silent Hill 2, Diablo from Diablo, and Mr. X from Resident Evil 2. A cool new addition to the remake. So, Mark, do you accept these 3 choices? Or do you have your own?
Okay. So I have never experienced Pyramid Head on my own.
Neither have I.
I've never played Silent Hill 2. So can I do one? Can I insert one that's not from what you would call a horror game usually, but that stressed me the F out when I was playing it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That would be the what was it called? The clone Samus from Metroid Fusion. Did you ever play that one?
With that SRX, SAX?
SRX or whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
That thing sucked and would just come at you. And very similar vibes in Metroid Dread, which gave me existential dread playing that. So the Metroid series. But you know what? I think one of those two maybe instead of Pyramid. Although I like the design of Pyramid Head, so we can leave that one in there if you're okay with that.
I'm aware of him. I've never experienced him. Yeah, I've never experienced him in my life. I did play the recent remake of Silent Hill 2, but I never got to that point because I kind of got bored with the game, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm good with these 3 if we're basing it on like creepiness factor.
Sure.
Yeah. Let's leave them with this. Let's
sure.
Let's go with that.
Sure. Absolutely. Like, who would you not want to face? Like, because of like, oh God, that's gross. I'm scared. I don't even want to be around you. Yeah. Okay.
They're all good answers here.
Yeah.
So let's go through some of the answers. So we've got a few write-ins. You want to give us the first one? I'll go.
Sure. We'll Brian Rand. He buys Mr. X. He's from Resident Evil 2 remake. Rent, Pyramid Head, and then Return Diablo, bias included. No further discussions. Once again, Resident Evil question. Yeah, absolutely. He recognizes his question. Yeah. Good question. Yeah. Good choices. Yeah,
I like it. We've got Ryuketsu, or Ryuketsu, depending on how you pronounce that one. Correct me somewhere on Discord. I'll fix it next time. Return. So he's going with the return first. Return Mr. X, marry / buy Pyramid Head. Some stuff to unpack there. And rent Diablo.
Yeah, the Mary Boff kill or the Mary whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
But specifically return and rent the other two. So it wasn't kill and boff
No.
there, but specifically
Particularly
Mary
Mary.
in. So there's
Does he
some
have like a
things.
pension? Money? What does he bring to the table as a husband or a spouse?
A big sword.
He's a provider? A hunter provider?
I guess. All right. Moving on.
Okay. Luke says, buy Diablo, rent Pyramid Head, return Mr. X. Mr. X is dumb looking and not scary. Oh, Luke. Oh, I thought he looked kind of like Dolph Lundgren. When I looked closely, I'm like, oh, yeah, Dolph is back. Drago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Okay.
Yeah.
What about Brendan's?
Yeah, and I'll go with Brendan Myers. With there being,
No, that's we have follow-up questions too. Luke and Brendan also have questions too.
Sorry, I skipped. Yeah, I should maybe read before I read. Okay, bye. Mr. X getting endlessly chased for a time is scary and literally has had nightmares about being chased. Okay, that's terrifying. Rent Diablo for demons, scary. And return Pyramid Head because I never played. Valid.
That's
100% valid. So we've run the gamut from gaming experiences to real life want to marry some of these. So we're all over the place. So let's take this one as you decide to interpret it. What's the scariest one theoretically? What's the scariest looking one? What's the scariest gameplay wise? How are you going to tackle this one, Todd?
Ooh, this is a tough one. So scariest, I will tackle it from like a gameplay perspective, which kind of makes it tougher because Silent 2 is my like dead zone. It's not for me. But gameplay wise, Mr. X, holy crap. The fact that he just shows up out of the blue and you can't do anything to him really. And it's just unnerving because you never know what's going to happen. It's amazing. I love that. Versus Nemesis, who kind of shows up, but he's okay, but he's not that bad of a guy. He just looks bad, as they say. I'm not a bad guy. Yeah, But yeah, Mr. X, oh my God. And he's just so stoic. He's like, what is he doing? It's never explained. He's very
classic horror villain trope of like, you can run all you want. This guy's only going to walk. And then you turn around and he's behind you. And
he's just getting his steps in.
Physically doesn't make sense. But here we go.
And he always catches you. He's just getting his steps. Yeah. He's not doing cardio.
Olympic distance runner versus giant dude slowly walking. And somehow
they finish at the same time.
Wins this one. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just what? Horror movie logic. But you know what? It's scary when it's happening.
Absolutely, yeah. So he is definitely someone I wasn't aware of really, and when I'm like, oh God, please don't show up. This is ruining my day. Diablo, scary, but quite honestly, a really good battle. But he doesn't scare me. He looks like that demon. You kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
So, but I like battling him. So maybe from a gameplay perspective. So I'll definitely rent him because I've played many Diablo games. Pyramid Head, you know what? He wins the prize for just being a weirdo and really creepy with the big sword. He's got those weird, creepy nurses that are probably his groupies. Maybe Ryu Ketsu is marrying him because he can have the groupies. But I never battled him, so I don't know what to expect. So Mark, buy, rent, return. Okay. These wonderful gaming systems. Yes,
buy, rent, return. I'm gonna go similar, I think, to what Luke did, and basically kind of give the same answers. I'm gonna go aesthetically scary bosses, and sadly, that is putting Mr. X at the bottom as my return because he's scary enough looking. He is scary looking. I'm not going to go exactly the same as Luke and say that he's just dumb. He's scary looking. He's creepy, just slowly meandering and following you about. However,
like a KGB agent.
Yeah. I don't want to meet him in my everyday life. But if you told me that a guy
in a hat and a trench coat was going to follow me, or I could meet the the pyramid head thing with a giant sword that's already bloody, and he's wearing like torn rags, and for some reason has this giant pyramid head. I'm going to pick Mr. X. Like, I'll be the little spoon. Let's cuddle, Mr. X. I don't want to meet Pyramid Head. Same thing goes even more so to the actual devil. Diablo is, a terrifying fire demon with twirly horns and gnashing teeth and yellow burning eyes. Um, I don't want that in my life. So, in terms of like actual, like visceral fear response, if I had to be confronted with these three things, I'm going to buy Diablo, rent Pyramid Head, and snuggle with Mr. X because he is the least terrifying of these things.
Oh, you could marry Mr. X and become Mrs. X.
I'm fine with that as long as I don't have to meet a fire devil.
Mr. X will protect you, Mark.
Yeah, that's it.
Protect me, Mr. X.
Yeah.
Well, they always say, like, punch the biggest guy in the prison yard, marry the biggest guy in the prison yard.
Yeah, that's just
That's good enough.
Bad news from all around for all of these, but I think I've chosen the most and least terrifying from a visual standpoint. So there we go.
Hey, Secret Friends Unite, let me tell you about Zencastr. We use them for our show, and now they're supporting us. Zencastr is now the all-in-one solution making podcasting easy. It's the ultimate web-based podcasting solution, provides high-quality audio and video podcast production and hosting. With a full suite of professional tools, podcasters can seamlessly record, produce, and publish studio-quality content, all from one dashboard. Being a creator has never been easier. And we chose Zencastr because of the ease of use, high quality output, and it makes it super easy for our guests to come on. We had multiple solutions we tried before, and Zencastr has just been the best fit for us. Why Zencastr? It's now super easy to record a podcast with Zencastr. Log in using your browser and start recording a high-quality podcast right away. Record studio-quality sounds and up to 4K video with your guests. Feel a sense of zen knowing Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Have you ever worried what you sound like? Zencastr's post-production process makes you sound buttery smooth. It automatically removes those ums and ahs in your recording. It removes those awkward pauses in conversation too. Set the right podcast loudness and levels while reducing background noise with the click of a button. So if you're interested in making an easy, high-quality podcast just with the click of a browser button, go to zencastr.com/pricing and use my code SFU1. You'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. Now back to the show. Absolutely love it. Okay, here we go. So Luke has a follow-up question. My question is, what gaming crossovers do you love most in games? Do you prefer Fortnite, DBD, Dead by Dawn, Call of Duty style, where skins show up more when characters show up in games like Mario versus Sonic? Okay. What do you think, Mark? Crossover games.
Gaming crossovers. I'm a sucker for Fortnite, of course. I love Fortnite skins, and it's just so fun and entertaining to see a squad full of like Jack Skellington, a giant banana, one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and John Cena. It's just great. I love it. It's entertaining. But I also do love weird and unexpected crossovers, like any of the Mario Sonic games, like the Olympic games, or something I just dabbled in a little bit recently with Finn, Mario plus Rabbids. So weird and unexpected. We played the Rayman DLC. Yes. Which added just another character in that same kind of game and stuff. And it was just, I love that kind of stuff. I love when it's just kooky and they make it work with some sort of flimsy little fun plot device that it's like, here's the way to explain the rabbits being in Mario's universe and just have fun. Here you go.
Yeah.
So that's great. I don't, like Call of Duty, it's fine, but like it's a first person game. You don't really
It's
get to
first
see the person.
exactly your skins. It's like unless
It's
you're
like a
just looking
benefit.
after the fact or you see somebody
Yeah,
there.
it's a
Yeah, I don't
benefit for
understand
like
it.
everyone else. Or at least Fortnite, I'm getting to see like Batman's
Yeah, third
back
person.
kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
so that's I like that kind of stuff. I don't know. What about you?
I mean, and then when you see like what I'm trying to think, there's been the Universal Monsters in Fortnite. Like seeing like
Yeah,
Dracula do like the gritty. I mean, what's better than that?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
a nonstop entertainment. I was making Frankenstein do
yeah.
Gangnam Style this week.
I mean, as it should.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
yeah,
Yeah, everybody should. Um, yeah, I mean, for myself, I love the fighting game crossovers. It makes me think of like Soul Calibur, when you got like
yes.
Yoda showing up, or Darth Vader, or Link, or Spawn, or Heihachi showing up against Soul Calibur.
Hell
I
yeah.
love fighting games. Even
Yeah,
like, I mean, trying to think, Smash. I mean, you got, is the ultimate crossover, right? I
yeah,
mean, with all the, I just love it because you feel like you're getting a bit of what makes those characters themselves,
yeah,
but also taking on like Mario,
yeah.
Yoshi. Makes no sense at all. Absolutely love that stuff. The other one would be my favorite. Probably Disney Infinity or
Oh,
Lego
yeah,
Dimensions.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
taking those characters and they're so much fun and crossing them over. And I mean, we do get some of that with the Lego within Fortnite, but I'm all for like those games coming back
Mhm.
where you do get like the properties crossing over because right now Fortnite's kind of doing it with everybody, and we know they're doing Disney, so
Yeah.
but that's kind of my thing. I mean, I
The
am
Disney
all in for that.
villains that are there,
Yeah,
Cruella, Maleficent, and Captain Hook that are in the shop right now.
yeah,
Absolutely like peak Fortnite designs, taking existing characters, Fortniteifying them, and making them fit into the world.
yep.
Like this Disney partnership is going to be producing some really cool stuff. If that's anything to go on.
Yeah, even multiverses, it's free to play right now if you want to play with it, and you can play with all of the WB characters. It makes no sense that like Game of Thrones characters are hanging out with the Looney Tunes, but you know what? Why not? If you like a little more adult content.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Mark. The next one's yours. Winter Gamer. Brendan has a question about.
Yeah. With there being originally 151 Pokemon, what are some of your favorite spooky or creepy Pokedex entries? I'm going to go a little weird with this one because I think we've talked about this before, and there's some really, really, really creepy Pokedex entries. Gengar,
Well, I remember the episode with I think it
Mhm.
was Adam Leonard when he was on,
Yeah.
and you talked about all the weird background for all the weird Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what this is. Yeah,
Like
this is
who
like the
made this game? A
Pokedex
serial
entries.
killer?
That's what we're talking about
Yeah,
here is the little descriptions and stuff of Pokemon. I'm like,
yeah.
there's one Gengar like is wants a companion and kills people to get a new companion because they started out as a human and they want a companion, so they kill other humans to get a companion. Creepy stuff. But I'm gonna go with one that I don't think I've discussed here, and that's from
Oh, okay.
Pokemon Yellow. I think is the description here for Parasect, which is an evolution from Paris, and it's like a little bug with a mushroom on its back. It starts off with two little mushrooms, then a big, big mushroom for Parasect. The description, however, the bug host is drained of energy by the mushrooms on its back. They appear to do all the thinking.
Ooh.
This
Oh,
is
like
The
The
Last
Last
of
of Us,
Us.
like the Cordyceps.
This is The
Oh my
Last of
God.
Us. The bug that you trained as a baby, the Paris, is dead. The mushrooms have now taken over,
Oh,
and you're training
oh.
and carrying around a zombie in a little Pokeball. The bug is dead. The bug's dead. You're training sentient mushrooms that are controlling a corpse of your once beloved baby Pokemon. So why Pokemon? Why? Don't do this to us.
Oh,
Creepy AF.
Mark, no wonder you're giving me another reason not to like mushrooms. I mean, thank you for that, because I need all the support I can get.
Yeah.
Not liking mushrooms, but man, oh man, yeah, all the basically the cordyceps, the Last of Us, like, oh, it's those what was it, a wasp that was basically infected and they went crazy, or ants?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, ants. I think.
hey, is there a positive there?
No, there's no.
Okay,
No.
good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's very creepy Pokedex entries. There's a ton of them.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh my goodness. So thank you, Brendan, for bringing up that horrific moment of those cute and cuddly. Gotta catch them all. If you catch them all, you might become a zombie due to mushrooms. So appreciate that. Mark, let's move to something a little more positive than parasitic mushrooms, and that is what we've been gaming. Hopefully, you've not been playing like Mushroom Warriors or some type of cooking game with mushrooms.
No, just a whole lot of random stuff this time. So the first couple of games I want to talk about are games that I got as codes, review codes from companies.
Oh, nice.
Which is always awesome to get. Always really appreciate those, and they're always amazing. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Smurfs Dreams from I got this from Home Run Games. This is out on Switch, but I think it's out on everything else. I've been playing it on Switch. There's a demo if you want to try this. The demo sold me on this one. I reached out to the company after I played the demo. And I got to give a shout out to Barry Dunn over at Impact Game Station. He got me in touch. He gave me the PR contact for this one. So
we got to have Barry on the show.
Yeah, we got to figure out that. It sucks because right now it's 4 or 5 hours ahead for him. I think so. We might have to do a weekend recording or adjusted schedule or something. We'll figure it out though, because I'd love to get Barry on this, because he's awesome. And but yeah, it got me in touch with this company for Smurfs Dreams. We were talking about how good the demo is. Play the demo, because we've been playing through this game. Finn and I, he absolutely loves it. Very easy to get platformer game, very similar to like Super Mario 3D World, where it's that like isometric, like the Super Mario Cats, kind of like that view. Like you don't need to move the camera around a lot. The stages are mostly fixed. But like really engaging level design. Everything's different. You're going into dreams and waking the Smurfs out of their dreams. So each world, each stage, everything's very different. But in the demo, there is a stage that plays with mirrors and reflections, and it is some of the most creative platforming game, like 3D platforming level design I have ever seen. And it's in a freaking Smurfs game. But there's like, so you have to play back and forth with what's in the actual world. And then there's hidden things in the mirror world that like you can only see there, but they're in the real world, but they're invisible, but you can see the reflection. So you have to time your jumps or like move or uncover things in the mirror, and kind of like you're hopping back and forth into this like perspective. It's so
interesting,
so well done. So at the very least, play this demo. But like if you're a fan of those kind of games, check this one out. It is really, really good. Really well done. Great little, entertaining enough cutscenes, but like I said, the platforming and stuff is just great. Very satisfying. Finn has been loving finding all the little like secret things, and he'll like, he's already got the gaming bug, man, because he will we'll finish a stage and be like, oh man, we missed a mushroom, or oh, we didn't find the thread in that stage. Can we go back and play that stage again? And sometimes we'll go back, or sometimes you'll see the next stage that we've just unlocked and be like, oh, maybe we can go back later. Let's check this out. What's going on here? It's very
so
focused.
As a 4-year-old typically is.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very
So
entertaining to
focused,
play it.
yeah.
But this is his
That's awesome.
introduction into Smurfs, and has
I was gonna
since
say, what I mean, has he seen the movies? Because there's been
he
live
has
action, there's
now.
been
Yeah, he saw
animated.
the
Okay.
Neil Patrick Harris movie
Oh
after we played
wow.
this game. So he
With
wanted.
Frank
He's like,
or Hank Azaria as Gargamel, which
yeah,
interesting
yeah.
casting there. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, like he has gone now on like this Smurfs journey thanks to Smurfs Dreams.
Weird.
He is
So
actually like
interesting.
wanted, we said like there's a Smurfs movie. He's like, can I watch that? Instantly was like, I need to watch this. So like really, really, really well done game. Check it out. Again, I played it on Switch. I think it's available everywhere. It
Okay.
is really good. Check out the demo if you're on the fence. Like I said, one of the most creative platforming levels I've seen in a very long time, playing with the mirrors and that kind of stuff. But like every single level, like I said, is like there's a food level. There's like man, there's just so much great stuff.
That's
It's really really well done.
that's interesting because it brings me back to like there was a Hotel Transylvania game, which I know you think of that, but it's like, oh, that should be horrible if there was a game. But it was Pikmin based. Basically, it was a Pikmin
Oh,
game
awesome.
and got really good reviews.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's awesome when a basically a licensed game, which doesn't have to do anything to sell copies, but when they actually do a good job, that's awesome because we
Yeah.
need more good licensed games. So hey, props.
Yeah, this game right now is sitting at like a 76% Metacritic.
That's really good.
8 out of 10 on Steam, 8 out of 10 for Nintendo Life. Like it's gotten some great reviews and absolutely deserves them. Like if you're not even a Switch fan, like it's just a solid platformer. It is
It's awesome.
very easily compared to a Mario game, and I do not say that lightly. Like it is a very very good game. And like I don't have any real attachment to the Smurfs franchise. Like I've been familiar with it my whole life. It's always been around, but it's not like something that I've just been like, I need Smurfs. Like I'm gonna go get a Smurfs tattoo. Like that's it's not like that level of like
Oh, Mark, I am a child of the Smurfs.
right. Yeah,
I
I
remember
was
the
gonna say it
Smurfs
was like
movie,
a little bit
the
earlier.
quest for the magic flute, and
Right.
Peyo is making little characters. And my junior high science teacher hated the Smurfs so much that he actually created like a torture scene in his classroom where he was like putting them over vats of acid. It was very odd.
Was your
Yeah,
teacher's
I don't
name
understand.
Gargamel by any chance?
You know what? It could have been Gargamel. He had a cat named Azrael. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. All right. Terrifying, weird. But you know what? Everyone has a passion, I guess. So there we go. So weird stuff, but like again, this game
Yeah.
is way better than I expected it to be. Than I think anyone at this point expecting like Smurfs. They've just been around forever, and this game's just like,
So
oh,
weird.
okay, it
Love
deserves
it,
to
though.
be in the same conversation as a Mario game. What the hell?
It's got to be better than the ColecoVision Smurf game, is all I will say.
Mildly, I'm sure.
Look at a video of this ColecoVision Smurf game.
Yeah.
You'll be like, why was that even something that people talk about and refer to these days?
All right. And again, great. I think I mentioned this, but we've been playing this together, Finn and I. Great 2-player, great multiplayer. Very easy to figure out the controls and all that kind of stuff. And both of us just being able to jump in and have a good time was a huge bonus. So check this one out.
Great.
Second game from Outright Games. Hook me up again. As always, they are so awesome. This time I got TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants Unleashed. This again has been released for like all the usual platforms. I got it on Switch, and again, this is how I spent most of my weekend. So Smurfs was like last week. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants Unleashed took up most of my time this weekend with Finn because he is obsessed with the Ninja Turtles. This is based on and a continuation from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the newer animated movie. Um,
Yes.
its name is escaping me right now. Um,
It's there's actually a series on Paramount Plus too,
yes,
based on it.
yeah.
And I can't remember the name of it, but I love the movie. Has he seen the movie? Have you seen the movie?
Oh yeah, I saw the movie in theaters with my
Oh
nephews.
yeah, the movie was
It's amazing.
fantastic.
So
Yeah,
Mutant Mayhem is the show, um, and it is a continuation
I'm
of.
looking up everything else, Mark.
Okay, perfect. Continuation of Mutant Mayhem, continuation of the movie, um, and is pretty good. It is a little bit more on the simplistic side as a kind of just like beat 'em up. So kind of button mashy. There's not too many like there's a counter ability, which is fine. Like you can block and then attack and do a counter, but there's not too much in the terms of like string together some moves. There's like, um, oh, Mutant Mayhem was the movie.
It was.
What's the show called? Is that because there is a show
I'm
as well?
looking it up right now.
Okay,
I was trying to figure. I'm like,
sorry,
okay, that's weird,
I'm like
but
reading the notes
yeah,
that you're talking
I
about.
will get the series.
Um,
Yeah.
anyway, so it's good. It's a little simplistic, but again, playing with a 4-year-old, that's what I'm looking for a lot of the time. I don't like crazy combinations and that kind of stuff. Not really going to work for him. But if I say, dude, mash the R button, he can do that. He can pull that off. So great game to play. He's been super engaged in the stories. We've been learning all the Mubies names. So the Mubies are what they call mutant newbies, because in this a bunch of new mutants are moving into New York. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. And it picks up where the movie left off. So like Bebop and Rocksteady jump in pretty early on and kind of give you an assist, and then you kind of keep going. You're trying to rescue or kind of help out April O'Neil, and they come in clutch at the very last minute and kind of help you out. And their introduction in this game is gross and entertaining. So it's got that very the exact same feel as the movie. They really nailed the look of this one. So if you're into the movie or into the TV show, if you like that version of the Turtles, same voice actors for the Turtles at
Oh,
least.
great.
April's different. You know, they don't have like the big name stars, but the four
Yeah.
Turtles are the same, which I loved
No
because
Jackie Chan.
no Jackie. I don't think Jackie Chan's returning as
Aw.
Splinter. Splinter is in this, but I don't think it was him. Um, but
It
like,
was Jackie kind of Chan.
yeah. Yeah. But like super entertaining, really well voice acted, well animated, entertaining, and Finn's been having a really good time with it, which means I've been having a really good time. Weirdly enough, only 2-player multiplayer
Oh,
instead
I
of
was going to ask you
4.
about that.
Yeah. And what I think is,
Local and online, or just local?
I know it's local. I haven't checked online. I really should have looked that up, but I didn't. Um, I'm gonna check it out right now if it's in the show notes or anything here, or the game notes. Um, anyway, I will continue to talk about that. Single system, 1 or 2. So you have to have the same. But so an interesting part of this, which I really appreciate, so it might piss some people off because Finn got a little confused and then just kind of accepted it. You do not get to
Okay.
pick the turtle that you're playing as.
What?
This
That's so weird.
It is
Very
weird, but it
random.
ties into the story, and different turtles take over at different
Oh,
times.
got it.
You can call for assists at different times. So if you're playing as Michelangelo, you can call for assist and maybe Leonardo jumps in. If you're playing Leonardo, you call for an assist and maybe Donnie jumps in. And it depends on who your 2-player is as well. And then the other 2 can jump in for assists. And each time you change a different level, another turtle is going to take over. And one of them, and they always tie it into the story. They always say like, okay, I think we should go
Sure.
down. If Raph says, I think we should go down this tunnel, then you're playing as Raph. So it kind of works that way. I think it's a really interesting, creative design choice because you're playing along with their story. You're not, and there's
Yeah.
story beats that they want to hit, and there's dialogue choices that they want to make sure are in there with characters that are in the lead at that point of the story. If that makes sense.
And plus, it forces kids to get out of their comfort zone, right? And try another character, which I think is always good because you may like, oh, now he's my favorite character. Now, when you're doing that, Mark, as a second character co-op, can you choose anyone?
Nope. Second player, you are given a character. And it was very entertaining.
So it's a set narrative.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first stage sets you off as Leo and Mikey, I believe. And I can't remember. I can't remember who's in the lead. It might be Leonardo and then Mikey. But I might have that reversed. I can't remember at this point.
Okay.
But the second stage mixes it up, but you just basically the two players swap. So Finn kind of at one point, like as soon as it swapped, it was like, "Oh, Dad, I'm you and you're me," and it was like that kind
cute.
of fun moment.
Yeah.
And it was just like, "Yeah, buddy, okay, so you get to use this weapon now, and I'm going to use this weapon." And he kind of started to dig it at that point. So it was still interesting because the same two characters were on the screen and they just swapped. And then the next time it was different characters that we got to use. So it very, very smartly like eased him into it playing 2-player like that. I think if it was playing single player and it just went from like Leo to Mikey, he would have been like, why am I a different character right now? But they were both on the same.
I'm giving up, or I'm lost interest, maybe.
I don't know if he'd lose interest because he does like all of the turtles, but it was noticeably jarring for him because, and I think partially my fault, because he has played Shredder's Revenge, where you can pick any turtle or like a half dozen supporting characters. So he was used to that. So he saw the turtles and was just like, "Oh, can I pick the rabbit?" It's like, "Nah. What about Mondo Gecko?" No, not this time, bud. This is a different game. So kind of ruined based on that experience, but a very entertaining game.
That's great.
Solid, solid like action beat 'em up kind of game. Don't expect anything too deep from like the combat perspective, but if you're into this version of the Turtles, it is going to make you very happy because it's continuing exactly along with like the movie ended up. Turtles are accepted. They're known.
That's great to hear.
New mutants are moving in. Bebop and Rocksteady are kind of like pals now with the Turtles. Like it's picking up exactly in that universe and feels like an organic continuation. So I love it from that perspective alone. Like it's really, really good. So check them both out. Okay, so the next two I'm going to just go really quickly through. Mario Party Jamboree, bought this one myself. Probably the best Mario Party game I've played in, man, I don't even know, since like Mario Party 2. It's just solid. It's awesome.
Okay.
Haven't tried the online mode. Haven't played a ton of modes because we've been playing these other games that I've already talked about. So want to put more time in, but holy crap, it's solid. The one complaint I have so far is we did want to play the online mode. My brother and his fiance and myself and my wife, we all wanted to play. And apparently the online mode, or at least the one that we tried to play, is single person per system playing online. So we would need 4 switches and 4 copies of this game for the 4 of us to be able to play Mario Party online. You can't do 2 and 2 on 2 switches. Pain in the arse, but maybe there's some reasons behind it. I don't know.
I don't even say at that point. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like Nintendo. Buy 4 copies of our game, have 4 switches. Because we encourage playing together, but not really.
Yeah.
So weird. So random.
Yeah, it is a weird choice. And maybe it's a frame rate issue or something, like 2 players on the same system playing online. There's network issues and that kind of stuff. Maybe, I don't know. I'm making excuses. It was an annoying caveat. that we found out after we had purchased the game and wanted to
Yeah.
play it online. So I still haven't tested the online mode, but the couch co-op.
Just
or the
spend
couch-
$300 and you're good to go, Mark. Just spend $300.
Yeah, I mean, we already have a second Switch. We just need a second copy of the game, but it's not going to happen right now because we wouldn't play.
And
it
then you had to
online
buy it for
that
your
often.
brother and
Oh, my
his brother
yeah.
and 180. What is it? $280 later.
Yeah,
you're good to go.
Yeah, no, I think we'll pass on that.
So
but
crazy.
But that's it.
Yeah.
I did also want to mention just before I give it to you. I renewed Game Pass finally, like I mentioned.
Okay.
Intended to play Call of Duty. Very, very happy that I renewed Game Pass because Finn instantly saw that I had renewed Game Pass, downloaded Spongebob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated.
Aww.
And that was the most use that my Xbox had this weekend.
That's too funny. I love that. That game is, why not?
Loves that game.
That's great.
And has just been recently introduced to SpongeBob. And I have hardly even needed to help him through. I helped him in a couple of spots that he was getting stuck in. But
that's great.
Aside from it, it's not even a game I played. I had to throw it in there just because I was like, yeah, Game Pass. Haven't had it in months. Let it lapse. Finally going to get it back. Call of Duty. Let's go. Loaded it up Friday. Ready to rock. And Saturday morning, can I play SpongeBob? Fudge. Yeah. Here you go. Where's my
no
my
family plan with Xbox yet, right? I mean, that's the thing with me and Logan. There's no family plan, so essentially you gotta have two Game Pass subscriptions to be able to play those games at the same time, which sucks. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Wasn't there a new Patrick Star game too that came out? That's kind of like
there is,
weird physics simulator or something like that.
That is one code I didn't get from Outright Games, but they made that one. They're doing that one as well. They're handling that distribution. So
okay,
I will have to check with some people in the Outright Discord to see how that one's getting along. But I did not get a copy of that. So so that's all my gaming stuff for this week. Sorry I talked so long there. Todd, what have you been playing?
Oh, it's funny because it's a tale of kind of what I wasn't playing. And that would be my sad tale of Redfall. So Redfall, if you know, and let me grab something off the shelf really quick. Redfall is the game by the Dishonored devs, I believe, who are owned by Xbox.
Yeah.
They made a game about vampires. It's a action, first person shooter with vampires, and it's online co-op, things like that. It's on Game Pass. Basically, the studio got fired, did not do well, and they had a Bite Back edition, which was $30. You'd get DLC and all this extra stuff, and a Steelbox edition.
Nice. Yep.
They said they were going to refund everyone that paid for this because they canceled and said we're not putting out the DLC anyways. So I'm like, okay, I have still not been refunded for the DLC. Everybody else has for some reason, $30. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But I've heard this game is better fixed, so I'm going to try and find this. But you guys wanted spooky games. So Redfall, you got 4 main characters you can switch from. They have different abilities, and it's really like an open world vampire hunter game. So cool. I'm all in. I've got my PC, my beefy GP. I don't have an Xbox anymore, but that's okay because I got Xbox Game Pass on PC. I'm good to go. I play it, Mark. I played an hour total. It dumped on me 6 times. I tried everything. I complained. I'm like, what is going on here? So I gave up because people are like, why are you even caring so much about this game? I'm like, it's basically it's for me, it's a mission now to make sure this game works so I can actually play because I bought the DLC. So it's almost like spite. It's like Seinfeld returned the sweater out of spite. I'm playing this game out of spite.
Yeah.
And I like the ideas around it, but it kept on dumping, and I had like screenshots, and I've got a 4070 RTX. I'm like, I got a beefy GP. I've got a great system. So what did I do, Mark? I bought a new Xbox controller, the Cypher Blue.
Yeah.
It's the translucent blue. It's wonderful. There's another one similar to it. It's like clear white.
Yep.
And there's also the Xbox 20th anniversary, which is really cool too. Bought that plus the Amazon Fire Stick 4K Max plus a month of Game Pass for like $80.
Jesus,
the controller's normally 65. So I'm like, I got it all for that. So I'm like, so I tried streaming on the Fire Stick. And I actually was able to play it there versus my $1,500 PC.
Wow.
And I'll be honest, the game was not that great. So I went through all those hoops just to figure out the game is not for me. So for this time forward, Mark, and it played okay on Xbox streaming. It's great. It's fine. I'm calling it Redfall. So moving on.
That makes sense.
So unless you're really morbidly curious about Redfall, it is a game that just did not work. Feel bad for the studio. They didn't want to make the game online anyways, but it is what it is. So Mark, I did play Call of Duty, the campaign.
Okay.
The fun part about this is I did the pre-install, Mark, because I'm smart. And you could choose what you're going to pre-install. All of the different, I mean, if you want to get everything, it's like 250 gigs. Yeah, it's ridiculously huge. Easy. If you just want the single player though, the campaign, it's like 65 gigs. Yeah, okay. So like I'm a smart gamer. I'm gonna pre-install. I'm good to go. Get on my PC. I'm like, I'm gonna play some Call of Duty tonight. Look, you have to download. I pre-installed it, and it said I have to uninstall it and then download it, the whole campaign. I do. So I'm like, okay, well, 60 gigs. I got a good download code. I don't know how long this will take. I tried, Mark. And then when I tried to get into it, and then there was like a queue to play the campaign. I'm like, why is there a queue to play a campaign? I'm like, this makes no sense. Exactly. It's single player. So I'm like, what is going on here? So I'm like, I couldn't play day one. Came back day two. Everything is good to go. Could start the campaign. But there were so many updates on the Xbox app on PC. Had to do that multiple times. Like, what is even going on here? And then I have to use my controller because I play on controller, not mouse and keyboard. Do that. Finally get in. And I'm in, Mark. I am in. Once I'm in the game, it's fun as hell. Right. This is a 90s-based Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's like Robert Redford. It's got like you're going behind the scenes, basically Operation Iraqi. Well, it would have been Desert Storm. George Bush is in this game. Well, not him, but I mean somebody playing him. Yeah. It's great. The combat's amazing. It looks beautiful. I mean, it is what you want out of a Call of Duty game. So this is a return to form for the Call of Duty campaign after last year, which was a dumpster fire. It was just felt like an afterthought. This is really good. So if all you want to do is play the campaign and you've got Game Pass, get into it. It's fun. I've heard it's like the longest campaign in forever, and it's got great reviews. So I have nothing to complain about the game once you actually get into it. It's just why does Call of Duty make it so hard to like actually do what you want to do? Obviously, I know why, Mark. They want you to get into Warzone. Yeah. They want you to get in the multiplayer, buy skins, do the scary stuff. It is what it is. I still want to play the zombie mode because I've heard the zombie mode's really good too. And that's where I like to play because it's more local and it's fun.
Yeah.
So that is Call of Duty.
I cannot wait to get into this campaign. Like,
it's fun.
Genuinely
You're gonna
excited
love it.
for this for the first time since, man, I don't even know. Like, it's been a while since
it's hard to know.
Excited to go into a Call of Duty campaign and play through the story and all that kind of stuff. So they're doing something right this year.
Yeah, I did enjoy Vanguard, and a lot of people didn't. That was the last like World War II game. Right. I did enjoy that game though, but I mean, this one feels just right. So check it out. It's beautiful on your Xbox Series X or your PC. It's great. You could play it online if you want to. I don't know if you'd really want to play it on cloud streaming, but you know what? Give it a try. Yeah. And then next year we'll get COD on Switch 2.0.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be something?
The last thing actually I have an extra one. I will just talk about this. Amazon Prime Gaming, Mark, is that a thing in Canada?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I know I've looked it up
So,
before, but I don't
okay.
think it's available here.
Are you a Prime subscriber in Canada?
Yes.
Okay. So Prime Gaming in the US is pretty amazing if you own PC gaming, or you can play games on Luna, which is agnostic, and you can play them basically. It's like cloud gaming for Xbox. And they offer that as well. But Amazon Prime Gaming has been amazing for games as long as you have a PC to play these games. So, Mark, they put like 38 games out this month on Amazon Prime Gaming. One of those games was the Gargoyles game, the remaster,
Yeah.
which was basically the Genesis Super Nintendo game, but basically remastered and redone with graphics. And it's out now. And there was like a limited run games version of it. I didn't get to buy it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this game out. So I did play it today, and it's fun. And you has the greatest thing ever when you're doing retro games. You click the right bumper, and it takes you back to what the game looks like and sounded like back in the day. So this is Disney's Gargoyles. I love the series. Never played the game on the Genesis or the Super Nintendo, and it's very fun. I will say though, the game looks amazing in the new. It looks very animated. Like it just doesn't exactly hit right when you want to hit people. It feels kind of empty in a lot of ways, which is disappointing. But it's really pretty and it sounds great, especially when you go back to the old retro graphics and sound and you go there. But it's great. I didn't have to pay for it. I can play it and get my retro infusion, and then hope we get new Gargoyles content in the future, because it's not a great game, to be honest, but it is fun to see it. And I appreciate that. So it was a game I played that's kind of spooky, but a game I was interested because it's a franchise I love.
Nice.
Lastly, Alan Wake 2 has finally finished all of its DLC. I'm going to be playing the Lake House later. That is the latest drop that is tied to Control. But the one I did finish the first part I finished was Alan Wake 2 Night Springs. Night Springs is essentially the Twilight Zone within the Alan Wake universe. It's a TV show. And there are 3 episodes within the Night Springs DLC. So I played the first episode. It's really fun. So essentially you're playing a fan of Alan Wake, the writer. And you're a waitress at the restaurant within the town, and your goal is to save the writer because you're romantic and you want to save him. But you go to the back of the diner you work in, and you have to get your shotgun and your high-speed rifle, and you go off, and the town is rooting for you because you're the number one fan and you love him, and it's a love story, and it's absolutely hilarious, Mark. It's tongue-in-cheek, it's goofy. You find out that the writer it's like a soap opera. The writer, who is Alan Wake, has a brother who's a twin who also happens to be a werewolf, and he basically attacks you with like hearts that will hurt you.
Sure. Yeah,
and it's dealing with sibling rivalries, and then you come to love each other, and it's just so goofy, but it's like an episode of the Twilight Zone, and there are 3 episodes total. I played the first one. It's wonderful. I love Alan Wake 2. I need to listen to that music again. That if you aren't going to play Alan Wake 2, watch the video from the Game Awards where basically they're doing the big song by the band, and it's amazing. Yeah, awesome. It's so wonderful. Yeah, I love it, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Control next, because at the end of there's basically, I don't know if you know this, if you saw it at the Xbox last conference, they have a new multiplayer game coming from Remedy that's all about the Federal Bureau of Control, which is a multiplayer game, which is so weird. And then we also have at the end of the Lake House a tie into Control and what's going to happen with basically Control 2. So
interesting.
Man, Remedy's on fire.
Yeah, laying out their plans. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. I always thought Xbox would buy them because Alan Wake and Quantum Break were all big in Xbox, and they just didn't. So But yeah, I'm glad to see everybody can play that game.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, very, very good. That is it for what we've been gaming, Mark.
Woo.
But now, before we get into the bonus round, it's time for an ad. It's time for the bonus round. It's a very spooky bonus round, Mark, because we're doing pitch meeting, where you and I are both video game producers, and we have to pitch a game to a developer and a studio to make a game that we want to happen. So with that, Mark, I am going to have you pick from 4 different categories,
Yep.
and I will assign you each one of those. So you give me a number from 2 to 13, you'll get those. Our categories are setting, genre, mechanic, and name.
Okay.
So for example, one setting could be castle estates. The genre could be life sim. The mechanic could be turn-based. Or the name of your protagonist could be something like Pedro Wolfcry. So we'll see how this goes. So Mark,
I love it.
let's start. You're going to pitch it first. For setting, give me a number 2 to 13.
Okay, I'm gonna go with it's horror. Let's start with 13.
Prehistoria. So do you need a example of what prehistoria means, or do you got it?
I think I'm pretty good. Yeah.
It's like dinosaurs, cavemen, things like that,
dinosaurs.
right? Okay, great. You
Jurassic.
got that?
Yep.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go with
next.
4 for my genre.
Real-time strategy, prehistoria.
And we're adding a horror caveat to this. So no matter what, it's a real-time strategy horror game. Okay.
With prehistoria, yeah. Then your mechanic is next, 2 through 13.
My mechanic is going to be number 11.
Dancing. All right. We're all on it. And the name of your protagonist, 2 through 13.
Name of my protagonist is 7.
7. Ingrid von Blast. So prehistoria. Life.
It's a prehistoric RTS horror
real-time
game
strategy
with a dancing mechanic starring
with Ingrid von Blast.
Okay.
Yeah, let me see if I can color these so it makes sense.
Yep.
If you have any questions about that.
No, that is I've got it all written down. Okay. So my idea, poor Ingrid von Blast, dance instructor, retired music video dancer. She danced in the music videos of all the
like Paula Abdul
pop stars. Yes, she was like the main dancer in all of the pop stars music videos. She choreographed and danced with all the greats years ago through the 90s, the early 2000s, and has since been kind of left to the wayside. The newer versions, the newer crop of dancers has been rising up, and she feels like her celebrity has been knocked down. So she got into some sketchy shit. She got into some occult nonsense. She wanted to turn back time and reclaim the glory days, and she went a little too far. She went back to prehistoric times. So now she is forced to train groups of cavemen and train them in the ways of dance, because dance is the only thing that can defeat the time demons who are after her for screwing up the timeline so badly. Very similar to Flash. When Flash messes with the Speed Force ghost demon things chase after him. Very similar vibes. These time demons are everywhere. They're messing up the life for the cavemen. They're messing up Ingrid's life in Prehistoria as she tries to get her way back, and so she has to control and distribute these dancing cavemen that she has trained, and reclaim some of their territory, help get the time crystals back so she can build another device to get her back into the timeline that she's supposed to be in. And but all at the same time, these time demons are closing in. It's very frightening. I don't know how you make existential dread from a real-time strategy game, because you feel so far away from it when you're looking down. But there's time is running out, and time is your worst enemy. So maybe that's the dread and the fear from these time demons. But that's it. You send them dancing. They learn new dance moves as Ingrid von Blast teaches them all the amazing dance moves of the 90s and the early 2000s and beyond. And maybe she'll learn a thing or two about caveman dancing as well. You're either muted or I can't hear you.
Do you have a name for this game, Mark?
A name for the game. Blast Through Time, or Blast to the Past.
To the past.
Blast to the Past.
I love it. So basically, the power of dance.
The power of dance
is the key.
It's gonna unlock everything for you.
Gotta love it. The power of dance. Yeah. Blast to the past.
Yeah, but it's.
Ever heard of the song? Sure, dinosaurs are spooky. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're there.
There's things chasing you. You're not the top of the food chain in Prehistoria. You got to watch yourself.
No,
and you can't moonwalk away from a saber-toothed cat. You gotta freaking run. So you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them, and know when to moonwalk away and know when to run. That is how this one works.
Are you aware of the band Was Not Was and the song Walk the Dinosaur?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. That's all I will say is Was Not Was. Hopefully we'll be able to be signed to do the soundtrack to this game, because that's really what it's all about.
That has to be one of the first songs.
I mean, dance crews, real-time strategy. You got to deploy your dance crews. You got to train them. Yeah. You got to dress them up. I mean, and then, obviously, how do you tame the heart of all these beasts?
Dance before they eat you. That's some real dread.
Exactly.
There. Yeah.
Exactly.
The time ghosts are creeping in.
I love it.
Forget the time ghosts.
Love it. Yes. Time ghosts.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs. Wow.
I love
everything. This. Almost as exciting as the Velocipaster? Yes, we could talk about that too. Okay, yeah. Mark, right. You passed the test. Ubisoft is waiting at your door to give you a 10-game contract that will be revoked and be canceled.
Perfect. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Mark. Do you want me to give you numbers?
Yes, I do. Let's go.
Okay. I'm going to give you the first one. I'm going to give you a 7.
A 7. Oh, come on. You have Prehistoria as well.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Prehistoria is my setting. Okay. Genre. I'm going to give you 12.
Shut the real-time strategy.
What? No. My least favorite genre.
How?
Should we try again?
Do you want to? Well, see what the next one is.
I want a mulligan. Okay, yeah, I want a mulligan because this seems weird.
Yeah, All right. What's your
I don't
mechanic?
like this. That the fact that because it can't be too close because I would be stealing all your great ideas. I'm gonna say 4.
Okay. Turn-based.
RTS and turn based. Oh God, I'm gonna puke. Okay, I don't like any of these, Mark. I don't like any of these.
You can do a do-over if you want to. Just start over.
I think we need. I'm gonna, after 3, I'm doing a do-over.
All
I'm
right,
gonna
let's go.
like roll the dice. I get a mulligan. Let's
Yeah.
start again because
Okay.
it seems a little too.
Way
We
too
don't
on
want to
nose.
bore the
So you
people with
cannot
all these
pick
things.
7
okay.
for your first one. Pick any other number.
Okay. Okay, I'm picking 3 for my first one.
3.
Setting.
Burgerville.
Burgerville. All right, Burgerville. Bring it on down to Burgerville.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Okay. I just want to know. Do you not want to repeat my mistake? What did I pick?
Yeah,
I said RTS
12.
last time.
RTS was 12.
12. Okay. I'm gonna do 9.
9 would be a racer.
Oh, a racer in Burgerville. All right. Okay.
Set in Burgerville. Mechanic.
Burgerville. Okay. Let's see. Did I choose a mechanic last time or no?
Chose a turn-based as your mechanic. Number 4.
Okay. Okay. I'll go with lucky number 13.
13. The scariest one of all, a dating mechanic.
Ooh, nice. I like that. See, I'll take that. That's a challenge. Okay, name. Didn't get to that, so unless I choose Ingrid von Blast again, and I'm going to pick number 10.
Number 10. You've got a very, very good horror name with Claudia Wolfsbane.
Ooh, I like that. She's a defender of the dark.
Yeah.
Claudia Wolfsbane. So this is gonna be fun, Mark. I think you're gonna like it.
I know I am. Let's go.
So we are set in the land of Burgerville.
Yep.
Burgerville is a strange place because it is not only the economy, it is the world of people, and they are burgers. They do not make burgers. They make everything out of burgers, though.
Okay.
So all of their cars are sandwich-based meats. So they have all of the franchises of sandwich-type cooked warm meats. So, Mark, hopefully you approve of that.
Absolutely.
So they can make wheels out of cheese because cheese are put onto meats. They can make the engines out of let's put it this way, onion turbines.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Exactly. So they can really form these things. Sandwich, like the bread is going to be like the seats, and then we're going to have tomatoes be the sides of these cars, and the lights are going to be, let's put it this way, it's going to be probably the condiment bottles are going to be the lights. So this is going to be how we do Burgerville. They're going to make erasers out of those sandwiches and things like that. Dating part is we find out that this is all about two families, like the Montagues and the Capulets, Romeo and Juliet, Mark. Two rival racing families in Burgerville. One family has they're all into the olive oil family, which fuels all of their racers, and the other is in they're going to be big. They're going to be one family's big olive oil, and the other one's going to be big vinegar. Big vinegar.
Mustard. You're just like olive oil and vinegar.
No, olive oil, vinegar. perfect sandwich, but they can't find their ways together to form the perfect sandwich. Olive oil, a little bit of red wine vinegar. There's two families. The one head is the Wolfsbane family.
Mm-hmm.
The other family is the Julio. Claudia's part of the vinegar family, the red wine vinegar family, and Julio Greasy von Redneck back family.
Very solid.
Is the olive oil family. Yes. No stereotypes there. And it's all about them fighting the families, but coming together. And it's all about you have to choose between the two families. It's basically a racing sim game. You basically get your crews together, you have battles, and then you have all of this controversy on who will get what. But then every win you get, if you choose a side, and we're choosing Claudia's Wolfbane, she is also stricken with werewolfism.
There we go.
because of reaction to her family's fortune in yes, that's the family's curse. Unfortunately, anyone who part of that family becomes a werewolf because of their reaction to their olive oil family. Or did I get that right? I don't know. I'm all screwed up. But you see how this goes, Mark.
Yep.
Basically, you win this game by not only winning a race, but also winning the heart of Julio, the guy I mentioned his name, but I can't even remember what I called him.
Exactly.
So it's gonna basically be a dating sim racing game with two families tied with werewolfism and condiments.
The condiment curse. That's what gave her
My goodness.
werewolfism.
Apparently, there might be a little bit of a high silver content in red wine vinegar. I don't know when they kick it along.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness. This seems like a game that would be produced by PopCap?
Yeah. What are you calling
Plants vs. Zombies?
AAA masterpiece.
I'm going to call it oh boy. I'm going to call it Fast Times at Condiment High.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, that was horrible. But you know what? Given what I've given, I think I've seen worse games made that had less to do with the plot than I provided.
Absolutely.
So I'll take it.
Absolutely. I think win on both accounts.
There we go. Yes, absolutely. So, Mark, I think we got to put this out there. It's trademarked. It's copyrighted.
Yeah, we need royalties.
But by all means, we'll sell out in a second.
Yeah.
We'll sell out in a second.
No hesitation. Buy these rights from us.
Mark will be bought off in poutine. Yeah. I will be bought off on Juicy Lucy's in Minnesota. So there you go.
Fair. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you for playing the co-op mode pitch meeting. We haven't done this in a while.
No.
It's been many, many episodes. Yeah. So I don't know how spooky this was. Maybe if you get like a reaction to like a food allergy, or you are scared of dinosaurs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might be scared of that. So there you go. Hopefully we did our duty. There you go. So with that, Mark, we are done with co-op mode this week. I thought we brought the spooky, the scary. We chased away some really scary dudes at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're at. They may come back, but I don't know. Hopefully, folks, you enjoyed the episode. But with that, Mark, where can people find you?
You can find me over on Instagram and TikTok and Threads at Canardian_Jedi, or as always, hanging out in our Discord group.
Excellent. You can find me at Tioxtra, at Secret Friends Unite on the threads, at Instagram. If you want to reach out to us, Instagram is probably the best place. We're checking our DMs on Instagram now for Secret Friends Unite as well. So if you want to reach out there, that's the place to do it. We're looking to have a lot of new guests in the coming year. We got a big anniversary coming up with SFU 500. So hopefully you can join us for the ride. This has been a lot of fun. Glad we can do this. And we also have our Patreon party in October in the next 3 days. So that's a good time as well. So Mark, thank you for this. This is always a highlight of my every 2 weeks to do this. Yeah. And we play it on the fly and we always have a good time. So thank you, my friend. Hope you have a good Halloween, everyone. Stay safe, have fun in costumes, and check your candy. But with that, Mark, it's always better to game together.
This podcast is part of the Secret Friends Unite podcasting network, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and podcast services around the galaxy, as well as video on our YouTube channel. You can support Secret Friends Unite by becoming a Patreon member, get bonus programs and more over at patreon.com/secretfriendsunite. Join our Discord community for even more discussions on all things geek. For all the latest updates on Secret Friends Unite, make sure to follow us on threads at secret.friends.unite and visit secretfriendsunite.com. Find our merchandise at TeePublic and Redbubble. Thanks for listening, and may the Force live long and prosper.